this is Dawn. Today I have for you a keto, frugal, sloppy Joe recipe. It is based off the Pioneer Woman recipe, and I wanted to do keto. I basically do keto, and my family does keto, but then I just add whatever else they want. So they're going to have buns, and I'm going to have keto bread, probably toasted, and that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. So I already partially browned, because it's going to go in the crock pot. So it doesn't need to be all the way browned. But I browned, it calls for a half an onion diced. So I diced a half an onion, and I cooked it just partially with, it calls for 2.5 pounds of ground beef. And I'm only going to serve 4. So I did it a little bit over a pound, and I kept the other pound. I bought 2 pounds worth, and I kept the other pound, browned it, and I bagged it up and froze it for a different time. It calls for 1 large bell pepper. All I had was this little bit of bell pepper, and I'm going to add a little bit of celery that I have in the fridge, because once it's in there, I just diced it pretty small, and it's going to not even taste like anything, really. Okay. The next thing it calls for is minced garlic, 1.5 tablespoons. So I just did 1 heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. It calls for 5 cloves, but I did minced garlic, and I'm going to add some garlic powder in a minute. 1.5 cups of ketchup. I am using the no sugar added Heinz tomato ketchup, so we'll add that. Two tablespoons of brown sugar, and I am using the Swerve brown sugar. 2, oh, I did a little bit less because I don't have as much hamburger. So I did 1.5 tablespoons, but it calls for 2 tablespoons. 2 teaspoons of chili powder right here. I'm going to add that in a minute. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard. Here it is. I'm just going to use regular mustard because this is going to be frugal. There you go. Worcestershire sauce to taste. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in there. There you go. Tabasco, optional. And I'm going to add that. Just a little bit, because I don't want it too spicy, because I have younger teenagers that probably will say something. Salt and pepper. Trying to watch my salt so it doesn't come out too fast. Pepper. And I'm gonna add a little bit of chili powder. What is it called for? 2 teaspoons. I will add that. It's not open yet, so I'm gonna open it on my own. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some garlic powder because it's keto and I want it to have a lot, or low carb, I want it to have a lot of flavor. So that's it. This is typically 8 servings, but I only did 4 servings of hamburger. But since I'm gonna put it on crock pot, so I wanted it to have a lot of juice in there so it can just get tons of flavor today. and I'll show you when it's done. It's gonna be amazing. I also wanted to mention that if I find anything in the freezer that these are tomatoes I found in my freezer, and I froze them, and I'm gonna add them. I think they're tomatoes. I mean tomatoes, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're yellow and red tomatoes from my garden. So I threw them in there, and we're gonna add them to it. It'll be delicious. It'll be great. So whatever you can find in your freezer that you want to use up, that you think would go with Sloppy Joe's, that's a great keto way to get, and frugal way to get what you need. And you don't need to add too many tomatoes, because they do have carbs, so you want to limit it. But this is not that many. It'll be fine. And I basically do low carb anyways, so, and it's healthy. That's what you have to think about too.